Hey guys! Thanks for tuning in. I'm Raquel.
I'm Jake.
And this is Don't You Know?
We are wearing the same colored shirt. It's apparently a blue day.
Oh yeah. You know what? Your camera is a weird color, so it didn't look like the same type of blue.
It's a little more seafoam actually. It's pretty green.
So happy Thanksgiving, guys!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Make sure we say that now, so we don't forget.
Oh yeah. This is there are some difficulties.
There was lots of difficulties.
Lots of difficulties. Difficult people. Anyway, moving swiftly along.
But, yeah. So I figured we should probably say Happy Thanksgiving towards the beginning, since I feel like our other holiday ones, they're midway through the episode, and then we're like, oh wait, by the way, happy whatever.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we should have the Thanksgiving music playing, have the turkey gobbling in the background.
Well, you send that stuff to me, Jacob, and I'll add it in there.
Gotcha.
So now, guys, if it doesn't play in there, you know who to blame.
Oh yeah, of course.
Cool. So let's do some quick updates. Let's go ahead. So what I realized was that we never talked about who won the 5-second drawing contest.
Oh yeah.
For the Halloween. It's been months.
It's only been 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Can we break it down by
I have
drawing?
all the numbers.
Oh, sweet.
All the numbers
by
right
drawing.
here.
Cool.
Okay. So I think we should first go ahead and say congratulations, Jacob. You finally won a challenge.
Yes.
Though only barely.
Only barely. Okay. It was a good fight to the end.
Yeah. So, which one would you like first, Jacob?
Let's just go in order.
Okay. So, the first one I have down here is our vampire drawing, and I won that.
Okay, you had the better vampire. I want to pull up the pictures, actually, so I can see him again.
Okay. Now, this is all based off of a poll I put on Twitter, which no one voted on those.
Oh, no.
A poll I posted on Instagram, and a poll I posted on Facebook. So this is coming from 3 different things, but most of them are coming from, people who follow me, so...
Okay, so they're biased towards you.
Now, I didn't put my name anything down.
Ah, I see. Yeah,
it's just got, 1 for, one of the pictures and 2 for it. And I kind of, somewhat alternated ours. So, not all the 1s are mine and not all the 2s are yours or whatever.
I gotcha.
So, and I have them right next to each other. So, it's not which one do you want to vote for? 1, pop. 2, pop. Okay, vote.
So they said that you had a better vampire?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
8-3.
8-3. Nobody liked my little vampire. He even had a little pendant. All right, whatever.
Yeah. And then the werewolf.
The werewolf. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Who got
I
this
won that one.
You won that one. All right, fair enough.
7-3.
7-3. All right. I don't know how I won this at all then.
And then the skeleton.
Skeleton. None of these even look like skeletons. No, I'm just joking. Okay.
You won that one.
Oh, yeah.
By a lot.
Yes.
3-9.
Because it's the good skull. I told you, metalhead.
I know, it's that skull.
Yours looks like a robot.
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein. Okay.
And you won that one.
Oh, yeah.
3-7.
Squarehead. I took kind of this one kind of reminds me of Scribblenauts. I was talking about that game recently. Cool. And that only leaves the Mummy.
Which you won that one.
Yes.
4-7.
4-7. Whew. Not bad.
I'm looking at some of these and the numbers don't add up, so obviously some people voted on some of them and not all of them. But yeah, so you won 3-2.
Yes.
So it was close.
It was good. That was a really fun challenge. I think we could do that again for some other stuff.
Let's do it for Christmas right now.
Right now.
On our Thanksgiving episode.
Like Secret Santa.
That is fun. We probably should do that again. Maybe we'll just do that for a random episode, or maybe just a random extra episode. We could just do a quick a video.
We could do a Rocky Doesn't Game for Pictionary. We could find that online for Draw My Thing or something. One of those Facebook games.
We still have to do Apex. My brother is waiting.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that game in so long. There's a whole new season out, and my brothers have been wanting to play. Yeah, I my head is still hung in shame.
Well, then that should be very interesting to play with my brother. I don't know how well because what he'll do is we'll get it onto his computer and we'll get OBS and all that stuff and download it. And he's going to hook up his controller to his computer. So he's basically going to be playing as if he's playing on his PlayStation, but just using the computer screen.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, that's just
So he
using
should
a
do
computer.
fine.
You can plug in a controller to a computer.
well, no, I just meant like I thought he wasn't going to be as good as he is on his PlayStation because he'll be using his computer. But no, since he's using his remote, he will still be just as good as he is on his PlayStation.
I have 3
Oh,
controllers.
you know what
right
that
here.
reminds me of? Did you know, Jacob, that if you wanted to go get an Xbox, that Amazon offers this bundle where you can get an Xbox, a Game Pass, which I believe is where you can play like a huge amount of games or whatever,
Mhm.
and then like a upgrade option, and it's like $30 a month for like 24 months.
Interesting.
If you ever wanted an Xbox, but didn't want to play right out.
I could think about it. I don't know. I don't really have much reason to get a console right now because I got the computer. I've already invested.
And you play your VR.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, if there's ever like a time where you realize, I kind of wish I had an Xbox or something like that.
Yeah,
They
there have
offer
been
that
times.
option.
It always happens when I have friends that are on Xbox, and I'm like, we could play on PC, and they're like, I don't have a PC. I'm like, dang it! And it's easier for me to get an Xbox than it is for other people to get like a big old gaming rig and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to where you say that he's going to be as good, he may be the same on a controller, but his opponents are all going to be on keyboard and mouse, and that's notoriously more precise of an input mechanism. So if he seems like it's way harder, it's probably because all his opponents are on keyboard and mouse. Because on PlayStation or on Xbox, is it on Xbox? You're all on,
I think so.
everybody's on a controller, because you can't plug in a keyboard and mouse, I don't think. Maybe you can.
But why would someone who is used to playing with a controller be slower than someone who's used to playing on a mouse and keyboard?
Because it's just more precise. It's like a controller. Think of it this way. If you have to sprint, what button do you push? A. Now, what if you have to turn your gun? What thumb pad do you use? The right thumbstick. And so how can you sprint and use the thumbstick unless you're like pulling your finger over? For me, it's a mouse. I'm using left hand is on whatever button I want because I got 50 buttons.
Well, usually when you're... Well, I don't think
Yeah,
that
I
is
said
an
mouse,
option
not
on the
shift.
thing, though. Like, you only go really one speed, and it's based on, like, how, like, far up you're using your thumb...
I can't remember. Maybe there is
thing.
no sprint. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can find videos. I can't speak to it too well, but without, I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like PC Master Race, but
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying. Look at what the pro gamers are playing on. It's a keyboard and mouse.
Whatever. Anyways, I have no real investment, honestly, in this conversation.
Yeah, and honestly, play with what makes you comfortable. Honestly, it depends on the game for me, but I'm just saying it's going to be a lot more challenging. I'll be interested to see how that goes, or maybe he's already playing on it and he's doing no problem, and that's totally fun.
I don't know about that either. I don't know. So
And I have no room to talk.
I feel like I can't defend consoles very well. I'm sorry, guys. Jacob's just gonna like win. I can't defend you guys.
There's nothing to defend. It's a money marketing thing. I'm just teasing. Moving topics. I've literally gone the whole PC Master Race route. No, I'm just teasing.
Okay, let's do so updates with the podcast. Let's see. I think when this gets released, it will be like the last episode of the month.
Okay.
So, based off the numbers, Michigan like totally kicked everyone's butt in the most downloads.
Nice. Michigan.
So, congrats, Michigan. Like, there was no one even close. I don't think there's even a single download in Georgia, Jacob.
Man, well, they're all listening live. You don't need to download it.
We're not live. We don't have any live
I
ones.
mean, you can stream it. You know what I mean?
No, I think anytime, like, you use it to, like, stream, other than, unless you're watching it on YouTube, it will show as a, it's, like, the term is
Oh, I see.
download, but
I
it's
gotcha,
not
I
actually,
gotcha.
like, downloading. It's
Oh, I see.
listening to it.
Oh, okay. I
Anyways.
misunderstood the whole thing then. It is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, so that's it for podcast-wise. I don't think we have anything really coming up. Anything new. Yeah, I don't think we have anything new going podcast-wise. And so let's go ahead and talk about your life, because mine, I just came back from vacation, so mine is going to be probably more.
Okay. Have I talked about Ford versus Ferrari?
I don't think so.
Okay, I saw that last weekend. It's the one with Christian Bale and Matt Damon. And it's all about when Ford enters a grudge match race against Ferrari, and they make the Ford GT, and a lot of drama happens, and it was very good.
Oh, I remember this. I remember the trailer for it. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember watching it going, Jacob would like this movie.
Yeah, I got invited by a friend, and we all went, and it was really good. definitely get your heart pounding. You get to see like they got like the close-up shots of like the gear changes and stuff. It's pretty cool. I give it a seal of approval.
I'm seeing Jacob going, oh, so like getting heart pounding, and then me watching going, this is boring. Why are you even showing this shot?
If you find it boring,
what's so excited about
it's
this?
because you're a boring person. You're going to the moon.
Whatever's.
No, we're not sending you to the moon. That's too. It might be too exciting.
This is better than the movie.
Well, anyway.
So you enjoyed it then?
I enjoyed it a lot. I recommend it if you're thinking about it. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Get some popcorn with it too.
I don't know why, but like I know you said Ford and Ferrari. I'm sorry.
Ferrari.
My mouth just didn't want to move. And for some I heard it and I understood it, and then at one point my mind switched to Chevy, and I was like, oh, that would be interesting to watch because my dad's Ford and the rest of the family is Chevy, and that'd be interesting to all of them watch it. And then
Ford versus Chevy movie.
And yeah, and then you said it again. I was like, wait, why was I thinking that? Because you said Ferrari.
No, it's definitely Ferrari. Ferrari's like, they make some pretty good cars. So does Chevy, but they don't really do much in like the grand touring rings, you know?
I don't know. I don't like Fords really, but I like my Chevy. I have a Chevy.
I'm more of a GM guy, so Chevy and their whole family, but it's a good movie. It's patriotic.
Nice.
And it's about Carroll Shelby as well, and he's a legendary like engine tuner and car builder.
Anything else going on with you?
Nothing too much. Just work. Same old. Playing some different games. It's inspired me to do some racing. I've been watching Formula 1 videos on the side and doing VR race car stuff. I raced last night for like 2 hours. I did like 3 races, and I was going through, and it's really tough. You do a few laps, and then you mess something up, and then you crash, and then your car is broken. You just have to watch everybody go past you. It's like you just limp to the finish. It's like, man. And I ended up like after my 2 hours of racing around in circles, got no points and did not pass the challenge, and so I can't go on to the next level. I got to do it all over again. But I think if I change it from 5 laps to like 2 laps, I can just manage 2 laps without crashing. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get to it. It's more fun. I'm doing the career mode. I've never done the career mode before, so it's a whole different way of playing it. That's all I got.
Sounds interesting.
Nothing too much. How about you? You went vacationing.
Yes, I went on vacation, and it's been over a week since my vacation now, though.
Yeah, the details are going to be all foggy.
I know. I did VR while I was on vacation.
You did VR. Well, let's transition through the gateway of VR.
So on, let's see, Chris left Sunday morning. So my half-brother came out to visit me.
Mm.
I haven't seen him in 10 years, so it was great. And, which I think I said on the last episode. Oh well. Anyways, so he left on the Sunday, and on Friday, it was either Friday or Thursday, it was Friday. We went to the mall, because they have VR. We were going to do a VR escape room.
Oh, nice.
But I had mentioned this other thing, which is a VR, it's called Battlegrounds, and there's one, and it has like 2 different games, and one of them is called Blackout, which is where you have a gun, and it, see, when I thought about the gun, I thought it was kind of like, a remote control kind of type gun, so light.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you pick it up, this thing is like not light. Like it's not like super heavy where you can't like lift it up, but it was like definitely like had some weight to it. And the reason why is because it also, when you shoot, it recoils.
Ah. What was it, like a shotgun?
No, I mean, it maybe
The way you're holding it makes it look like a shotgun. Oh, it's like a rifle?
Assault rifle?
Okay.
Maybe? Yeah.
Did it go pew 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 pew?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. It reminds me of like this like assault rifle that you have from like Halo.
Okay.
Like the typical one you always usually start off with.
Okay. Probably like an M4 or M16 or something.
I don't know.
Those fire
I don't
fast.
know, God.
No, that's okay. Let's say M16.
Anyways, it wasn't like kind of thing. It was like tush, tush, tush. I don't know. Anyways, so I had talked about that, but then I thought we agreed upon doing an escape room. So we get to the mall, and I'm talking about the escape room, and my brother goes, wait, I thought we were going to do Blackout. And I was like, wait, no, because I thought Chris said he wanted to do the escape the room, because we're doing all this because of Chris, And Chris was like, I'll do whichever, I don't really care. I was like, well, Battlegrounds supposed to be in this. It's supposed to be in the mall too. And so we asked the lady, and the lady's like, "Oh yeah, it's just the same floor down on the other end." So like, okay. So we go and we pass one place, and we're like, "Is this it?" Because it's still VR. But no, it wasn't that one. So you're going. So there's like 3 VR places in the mall, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So we did the blackout, and of course I didn't win that one, but I didn't come in last on that one.
Okay.
And so it's cool because what that one was it's almost like an army kind of one, and so we're in this tower, and we're kind of like shooting out, and we're basically we're on like a recon mission or something like that, and we're working as a team, and man, like because of that recoil and kind of how the gun had a weight, my arm was so sore the next day, and my legs were sore too because I didn't think about it, but I was kind of like ducking underneath stuff. Like to hide, trying to like shoot through the cracks and stuff like that. So my legs were so sore because I didn't think about it at the time of doing it, but I was basically doing like 100 squats.
Yeah, now imagine like real soldiers and they got rucksacks and body armor.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow.
And ammo, boxes and boxes of ammo weighs so much.
Oh my god. And then the next one that we did, because they let us get to try out the other one because we only did Blackout. They weren't interested in the other one because normally you can get a combo and do both.
Yeah.
But they weren't interested in the other one, which was like an abstract one. But they were like, "Oh, we're gonna let you go ahead and play it. Oh, try it out." So we did, and it was pretty fun too. That one was a little bit harder because you had kind of like almost like a silhouette of a person, but there wasn't really any details. And then the whole like background was like abstract. It wasn't really like it was kind of hard to see. And then on top of that, you're only like a silhouette. And of course, in the VR, since we're in like a square, you see the outline of someone else, even though they're not on your floor, because it was different floors and stuff like that in the VR. So you're shooting because you think it's a person because the actual person is just a silhouette kind of thing, and so the outline of it looks like that person's there, you know? And so it's super confusing. So you're sitting here like shooting at the person, and it's like, oh wait, they're not actually there. Like they're like either above you or below you. They're just like their outline is there, so you don't run into them.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting.
Because that's actually where they are in relation to you in the actual real
space. Oh, that's weird.
And they don't want you to run into each other.
I see.
So that one was fun, but it was like kind of confusing.
Yeah, I feel like it would be best to have everybody be on the same floor working together or like in different rooms, but obviously there's space limitations.
So I lost that one. Then we did an escape the room because they had an escape room in that VR place. And I mean, they're all in association with each other, obviously, but in that like section because it's in the mall. So I guess in that kind of store room. I guess because they didn't have a storeroom big enough for all of the VRs to be in one. So we didn't escape the room. And the guy was like, "You're going to have to work together." And we all knew we would have to work together. And at one point, it was me and Chris having to work together. And then we all ended up kind of in the same spot.
Okay.
And then I ended up with me and Nick having to work together. And it took forever for me and Nick to work together. Because I was still kind of thinking that I was either going to be working with just Chris or we were all working together at that point. And so we get to this point where we're kind of almost like climbing up like a tower kind of thing. But we have to turn certain things to unlock different things to climb up. And the first few times that we were doing it, some of the stuff I was doing was affecting like Frank and Chris. So I was thinking that we were all kind of working together. But no, in reality, it was Chris and Frank working together, me and Nick. So me and Nick are like stuck on like the same level. And Chris and Frank are basically already almost at to the top at this point.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what's going on? And so finally, Nick like turned something. And I was like, Nick, what have you been doing? Like, that's what I need to climb. Frank and Chris are like, come on, guys, catch up. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I've been waiting for one of you guys to do something because I'm done. I can't move anything else.
Man, y'all need to get good.
So that one was fun. We completed it in like 35 minutes. And the guy said that was like, even with me and Nick taking a long time, he was like, that's on par with everyone else who does it. So,
nice, so he was polite.
So we did that. We went to the Griffith Observatory, and because Chris kind of likes space in the museum and stuff like that. We didn't get to stay as long as we would have liked because by the time we decided to go do that, it was because towards the end of the week, someone had to watch Grandpa because Mike was off working and they weren't coming back in time for us to go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, my dad was also working. He couldn't get the time off. So we were waiting for Dad to get home, and when he would get home, Mike wouldn't be there. So we couldn't all of us go off. So we were having, like, so there was times where we were kind of sitting around going, we need to do something, but someone's got to stay behind and watch Grandpa. And we spent so much time doing that and then trying to decide what we were going to go do that by the time we went to the Griffin Observatory, it was like only an hour left before they closed.
Oh.
So we didn't get to do as much as we would have liked.
Dang.
But we still got to do stuff. Unfortunately, it was cloudy that night, so we went to the telescope and you got to see the moon. That was about it, really.
Like, we got to see a bunch of clouds.
We got to see a bunch of clouds. We did that, let's see, so the day after the VR, so I'm sore, super sore, and we're like, let's go hike to the Hollywood sign.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's fun.
So I found a trail, and it was going to be 3 miles. I think it's 3 miles there.
Yeah, pretty decent hike. Should take you like an hour there and back.
So, but this trail starts off in a neighborhood, so you have to park a distance away before you can get to the trail. And then, on top of that, my brother parked at the very bottom of this hill. Instead of parking at the top of it, and then us walking up the rest of the hill to the trail, he parked at the bottom of this hill. So by the time we get all the way up to the trail, we had already probably walked at least a quarter of a mile uphill.
Wow.
Up to this hill. To the start of the trail.
It's your pregame.
Yeah, basically. We get to the start of the trail, and Frankie goes, I have to poop.
Wow.
Oh my God. I was like, are you serious? He's like, I didn't have to go until, we started walking up the hill, and then... Anyway, so I was like, if we have to walk back down to that car and take you somewhere to go poop, I am not walking back up this hill to go to this trail. My legs are sore. I was crying on the inside already going up this hill. So we ended up not going on our hike to the Hollywood sign. I come to find out, apparently there's trails at the observatory, Griffin Observatory, which actually is not very long trails to go to the Hollywood sign. And I was like, are you serious? You can't be serious. Ugh. Anyways, so what we ended up doing was we went back, but we went to a park that's nearby that has like a perfect view of the Hollywood sign. Because Chris wanted to take a picture with the Hollywood sign. He didn't really care if we actually hiked up to it. He just wanted a picture of it. So we did that. We took some pictures. We went to Venice Beach. You remember Venice Beach, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember going down and seeing all this stuff.
So we did that. We went to a powwow, which was awesome. And let's see, what else did we do? I think that's about it. We went to the cabin, which we already talked about.
Sounds like a pretty cool week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's that. I just finished a week of work, which was a little hard, especially since I'm doing overtime. So it was like 50 hours. So I went from vacation to 50-hour week.
Oh, yeah, it's like a brutal transition.
Yeah, so I've been like having no time because by the time I get home, like I leave the house at 4:45 in the morning. And I don't get back to the house until like 5:45.
That's crazy. It's like a 13-hour day.
Yeah, so I'm like, any time that I have left after, like I have very limited time after I get off of work to do things.
Yeah.
Like I basically have to do it right away or else I'm not getting it done.
Right.
So from going to sleeping in and relaxing and into that was like, I miss my vacation. I really only saw one movie since our last one, which is Good Boys. It's that, you remember that trailer I sent you with the little kids?
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Okay.
It was pretty funny. We actually watched it again last night. This time I watched it with my aunt and uncle. My uncle thought it was really stupid. My dad loved it. And since it was the second time I watched it yesterday, I realized it wasn't quite as funny as the first time I watched it.
Oh, it was one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that, like, a lot of it's really funny because it's unexpected kind of stuff that's happening. You're like, oh my God, these kids. And the second time you watch it, you're going, oh my God. Like, you pick up some of the stuff, like, they're, like, super, like, they're just 6th graders. And so a lot of the stuff that they're doing is kind of stupid. And you're like, what in the world are you doing? The first time you don't really notice as much. The second time you watch it, you're going, wow, I didn't realize this is actually really annoying that this kid is doing. Like, the first time it wasn't like you just kind of didn't notice it really. Second time, a lot of the jokes are like, they've kind of lost their like shock factor. They're happening.
Yeah.
And so they're not quite as funny. And they don't drown out the annoying parts. I mean, it's still a decent movie watch second time around, but it wasn't as funny or as good the first time.
Right. Sometimes that's how it goes.
And that's it. That's all I have.
That's all you got.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go into our topic because we've already had like a really long kind of opening update kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm really thankful for a good amount of updates. Very gracious for all of the good things that are happening.
Jacob likes to try to segue into our topic.
The forced transition. You're welcome.
So Jacob is really excited for this topic because it's his favorite holiday. So he probably will hopefully do most of the talking.
Most of the talking. Well, I can do my best. I got a lot to say.
I have mostly discussions. So shall we start off with a discussion or a don't you know, or would you like to go first?
We should start off by saying that it's actually Thanksgiving. We didn't actually say it. I guess we said it at the beginning.
Happy Thanksgiving, remember?
Yeah. Oh, right. I guess we should start by talking about what is Thanksgiving like in each of our... What's Thanksgiving like to you? And then I'll talk about mine. Like, does your family get together or do you do a turkey?
So, I think it's, for me to point out, is my parents are divorced.
Yeah.
So, I lived in Georgia for a majority part of my life. And my mom's side of the family lives in Georgia. My dad's side does not. And now that I live in California... My dad's side of the family is here and not my mom. So my Thanksgivings are not like the same as they were when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I was younger, we used to all go over to my grandma's house. We'd have the same kind of food and the bread was always burnt. That was the one thing that I don't know what it was, but we always burned the bread. The dinner rolls. We always burnt it. I don't know what it was. We would either get, the biscuits or whatever, and make them, and they would get burnt. There was even one time where we already bought the biscuits, and they were already cooked, but we wanted to warm them up. We stuck them in the oven, and they forgot it was in the oven, and they burnt it that way. It was we always had burnt biscuits. I don't know what it was. And so we'd all go over there, and my dad, was still always invited to come to Thanksgiving over there. Sometimes he worked Thanksgiving. I think he's working on Thanksgiving this year, too. But when he didn't work Thanksgiving, he would usually go over to my grandma's house, too. And then now that I'm here, we have Thanksgiving at my aunt's house. This Thanksgiving, I am going to Kronos first in the morning.
Kronos? What is that?
Kronos Toys. They are having a Thanksgiving party at 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to go there, go get some pops on sale.
Nice.
I'll probably just get pop protectors, honestly. And then... come back, make cream of corn, and then that's what I'm making for Thanksgiving. I had just asked my aunt, I was like, what do you want me to do for Thanksgiving? Do you want me to make monkey bread or cream corn? And I had already talked to my uncle, and my uncle laughed, and he was like, that's funny that you asked that, because me and your aunt were just talking about it this morning, about what we should have you make for Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
And she was saying cream of corn, and I was saying, yeah, that or monkey bread. So it's funny that you mentioned if we would like you to make cream corn or monkey bread. Ask your aunt, because I'm not sure what we decided on.
You nailed it.
I proceeded to ask my aunt, and she was like, that's funny, me and your uncle had just talked about it. I was like, yeah, he's telling me that. And you guys even suggested the same things I just suggested.
That's funny. Which one do you want to make?
I don't mind either or.
Okay.
They don't bother me.
Nice.
They take probably about the same amount of time, both of them. So they want me to make cream of corn. That's probably because we're probably going to have tons of pie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we really don't need
more sweets.
Monkey bread.
Sweet.
So that's pretty much how my Thanksgiving goes. What about you?
Okay, so around high school, somebody had an idea. When I was in high school, somebody had an idea that we should get all of the family together, because we had a little bit of property, and we were kind of central to the northern part of my family and the southern part of my family, being in Miami and North Carolina. And so we decided, let's have a big thing and have everybody come down, and we'll just all stay the night, and we'll do a big cookout, and we'll play volleyball and just do a big thing. And it started, and we had like 40 people at our house, just a big old party. And
oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun. You get to see everybody and all the nieces and nephews. Because my family's kind of big on both sides. My dad has 5 siblings, and my mom has 4 siblings, and then they all have cousins. And so I got cousins, or they've all got nieces and nephews and sons and daughters and stuff. So the numbers kind of keep getting bigger as things go on. So now we're doing anywhere between 40 and 60 people every Thanksgiving. And we've done it almost every year since. I should have said that first. It's like an annual thing. There were a few years we didn't do it, depending on where we were living at the time, but it just wasn't feasible. But usually we try and do it. And we did it last year and the year before. We're going to do it this year again. And I'm really looking forward to it. But this is we do a traditional kind of turkey thing with the cranberries sauce and the stuffing and the gravy and all that. Just like you'd expect. But we'll also usually have a ham. It's we'll get a few aunts will get together, and it'll be like a little
Turkey and ham, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a cafeteria in there. It's a real professional operation. That's what I mean.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like stay out of the kitchen. There's work being done, and it's always really good and really impressive, and definitely thankful for that. But it's a lot of catching up and seeing how the family's doing, and family's pretty important, you know. Always get to see grandma. That's always important. So that's cool. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what I'm looking forward to. And don't you know, I think you got to do a turkey. I heard some people don't do turkeys, but I think it's like tradition.
I can't believe that. Who doesn't do turkey?
I've heard some people do chicken, and
What?
I've heard some people just do a ham. They just don't like turkey.
What? I think like even vegetarians will do like tofu turkey.
Tofu turkey? That's fair. I mean, if you're a vegetarian. Tofurkey.
What? I can't believe people don't do turkey or even a tofu turkey. Like, I mean, we do ham. Ham is supposed to be for like Christmas.
Yeah, but ham's always good though. When you got a lot of mouths to feed, throw some ham out there.
Both my brothers don't like ham.
Oh, I love ham.
They don't eat pork really.
Pork's
Other than
my
like
favorite.
pepperoni.
We're actually this year they're digging a hole in the ground and they're putting a rotisserie, a whole pig. It's going in.
Oh
They're
my
gonna
God.
do it like mojo style. That's what they did.
Wow.
They did that a few years ago. Well, I say a few years. It was like 10 years ago. That was pretty good.
Okay. Oh my god. I just realized this is going to be an awful episode because I haven't had breakfast yet and my stomach's already growling.
Same. Oh yeah, this is an early recording for both of us. Usually we record in the evening and then we go get dinner.
You know what I've realized, Jacob?
What have you realized?
I forgot to mention the thing I bought from the powwow.
Oh, what thing did you buy?
I got this wolf statue thing.
Nice.
It's kind of similar to like, it's hollow, kind of like a piggy bank kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's got a hole in the mouth and it's kind of standing on like a platform kind of thing. And it's got holes in the platform. And on the bottom is like the little kind of turn thing, similar to the piggy bank.
Uh-huh.
And what you do is you put the sage on that little turn thing because it's got like a little holder, kind of metal holder thing. So you can put incense cones.
Oh, okay.
So you burn the incense and you
Oh, I
put
think
the
I
little
see where this
holder
is going.
back into the wolf statue and the smoke comes out the mouth and out the sides.
That's pretty cool.
It's great.
That's
It was
awesome.
only $20. And it came with 2 packs of incense.
That's pretty nice. Incense is fun.
Each pack had like 5 cones or something like that. in it.
Nice. I used to burn some incense and I liked it a lot. And then I realized that I had overdone sandalwood and I don't really think I like it. And that incense, I think, maybe gives me a headache. So,
Aw.
I don't know. I think because I was burning it just all the time.
So, back to Thanksgiving. I just noticed it because it's up on the top. I had like clean off the whole top of my my dresser kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I could put it up there because you can't really have stuff beside it because you don't want it to accidentally burn or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just saw it and it made me think about it. Thanksgiving. Okay. So, along with turkey, don't you know you should have alcohol too?
I mean, that depends on the party, I guess. Ours is usually a rated PG, maybe PG-13 party.
Psh. One Thanksgiving, I don't think it was last year, but I think it was the year before that, my aunt got really, really wasted on wine. And
Oh, yeah.
that was not completely her fault. It was our fault too. Because what we had done was we kept pouring her more and more wine into her. No, it wasn't wine. I think it was champagne. He kept pouring more and more champagne into her glass. And we kept going, salud! She'd be like, salud! And she'd drink some more. We
You
pour
got
some
her
more into her
drunk.
glass.
You're terrible.
And it wasn't even me. I was just watching. I just didn't interfere. And my cousin Josh, his wife, she was the one that was kind of doing it, and she was like drinking with her, but she wasn't actually like, she was taking a small sip, and my aunt was like guzzling the whole glass of champagne.
She
Fill
was
up some more.
celebrating. That's funny.
It's salud, salud. And she was like, the next day she was super hungover. She didn't remember half the night.
Oh no. Should have given her some water. Been like, salud.
Yeah. And so this year, like my uncle, when I was talking to him about what I should make, and I was like, I do have the wine over there that I got for the log cabin. It's like a bigger one because it was a big one for on sale, and I was like, I'll just get that. And we got it for the log cabin, but we ended up actually drinking hard liquor instead of wine. So I brought it back, and we're gonna have it for Thanksgiving. But my uncle was like, oh yeah, and we also bought like 5 bottles of champagne or something like that.
5 bottles of champagne. It's not bad.
You have like that joke or whatever where it's like me on Thanksgiving dealing with my family, and it's that one person who's like drinking like 2 alcohols in their hand, you know?
Yeah, double fisting.
Yeah. So we've already talked about Black Friday, but I feel like now that we're doing Thanksgiving, it should be brought up because I feel like Black Friday and Thanksgiving kind of go hand in hand. So you have, people who miss Thanksgiving to go wait in lines for Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen the things where people are like, they go and bring food to to people who are waiting in line for the Black Friday. You know, like their family will come and bring them a plate.
Yeah.
So, do we agree upon that, though? Like, would your family go bring someone food if they're waiting in line for Black Friday?
I think they would.
Our family would not.
They'd probably make jokes about it, but if they were like, can you please do it? It's a thing. They'd be like, yeah, sure. Because we're just hanging out most of the time. I'd be like, yeah, we'll go do it. It's something to do. Who wants to come get some food and drop it off? I feel like, yeah, somebody would probably do it, but just out of entertainment.
Yeah. I feel like we would not.
We don't normally do Black Friday, though.
We don't either. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of am because I'm going, but it's on Thanksgiving or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll probably go swing by GameStop. GameStop's got Black Friday ball. But I'm not going to go wait all night.
Yeah.
For Black Friday thing. I'll just wait for Cyber Monday.
You just reminded me what we usually do on Black Friday Day. Black Friday Day is we'll take all of our cars and we go down to the Turkey Rod Run down in Daytona. And they open up the speedway and you go in and you can show your car or you can just go look around at the cars. And you just reminded me of that. I wonder if we should take all of our cars and go take the GTI. I mean, GTI is not that fancy, but it's got some work done. Show off the curb rash.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember what car you had.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
I've only known the Vibe.
Oh yeah, I still check out Vibes when they drive by. Oh, look.
Okay, what about dinner time? What does your family usually do for Thanksgiving? Some people have their Thanksgiving like really early and some don't. They have it later. We have a pretty early one.
We tend to have a pretty early Thanksgiving because you want it when the sun's like just going down because you don't want it too dark and you don't want it to be too hot, like physically hot outside. So usually it ends up being around 3 or 4, which is kind of annoying because
that's super early. Ours is not that early.
Super early. And then you end up just snacking throughout the night and you eat the pies later on or whatever. But yeah, it is like super early. And it's always funny because, you know, it's everyone's hanging out. You wake up around 11 or noon or whatever. And then you like go to eat and they're like, don't eat. We're almost doing Thanksgiving. It's like, I'm starving. Like, you got to get up early and get your breakfast.
Don't you know you're not supposed to eat anything until Thanksgiving dinner.
You must be like, if your stomach's not like churning hungry, you're not approaching Thanksgiving right.
We do ours, I think, closer to 5. And I feel like that's early. But we do it early enough because Grandpa tends to like, we don't get him sitting down eating around 4 or 5. Then he's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
It's like, Grandpa, all you do when you go home is sit in a chair just like you're doing now.
Yeah, but he can do it there.
Yeah. I want to go home. He's always so excited and like pushing Uncle Mike. We gotta get to Pat's. We gotta get to Pat. He's always like excited about Thanksgiving and coming over to Pat's. But then like he's here, and once he's here for a few hours, he's like, I want to go home.
He's got his. He knows what he wants. That's funny.
So we do ours somewhat early. We snack throughout the whole time though. So people will show up probably around noon, and we'll snack for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and then eat. But like, so we have like pigs in blankets, chips, stuff like that. So when I was in Georgia, I think our family ate more around 6 or 7. I don't really remember. It's been a few years. I think we would usually show up about 3, and food would still be cooking for another like 2 hours. So maybe we did do like 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's a pretty good time for it. Because again, you don't want it to get dark. I mean, well, also we're eating outside usually, so because we don't have enough space.
Oh, we're not eating outside, so
yeah, because we got so many. We got tables like.
So we usually do ours somewhat early because people a lot of times have to get back home, and a lot of people have to work the next day. Like I have to work the next day. I think Allison has to work the next day. Okay. Don't you know you have to do something with football, whether it be playing football or watching football? I think football and Thanksgiving go hand in hand.
Yeah, they kind of do. I mean, there's big football game that's played the day after Thanksgiving. That's intentional. But my family isn't a big...
What? There's not a big football game played the day after Thanksgiving?
Maybe it's on Thanksgiving.
It's on Thanksgiving, but it's not like it's not a big football. You're not talking about the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl is not until like February.
Yeah, but it's something.
There's not no, it's just usually, I think, just a team playing. I don't think it's anything big. I mean, they might treat it kind of somewhat big because it's Thanksgiving, but not like the game in itself is like a big game.
Turkey Bowl.
Yeah, it's just called a Turkey Bowl, but it's not like, I don't think it's anything specifically special.
Virtually every level of football, from amateur and high school to college and the NFL, including the CFL on Canadian Thanksgiving, plays football on Thanksgiving Day or the immediately following holiday weekend. But why?
Yeah, see, they just play... Well, because they always play on Thursday. Football's always like Thursday and Sunday and Monday, I think. Those are the 3 days that NFL plays. and Thanksgiving just so happens to always fall on a Thursday. Therefore, there's always football playing on Thanksgiving.
It says each Thanksgiving Day there are 3 football games. The Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions play on their home turfs every holiday, while the third game varies from year to year. All game times are listed in Central Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. The Chicago Bears play the Detroit Lions in Midwest rivalry. There you go.
Okay, so that's probably what's important is the rivalry one that they play. Yeah, I was asking my uncle, I was like, are the Rams playing this year? And he was like, the Rams never play on Thanksgiving. I was like, okay, because most of my family is Rams fans. Some of them are Raiders fans.
NFL's Thanksgiving
I think one
Day
person's
games.
49er.
49ers. I don't really have. I guess we kind of do the Dolphins because we're from Miami, but we don't really watch too
I don't really
seriously.
have
But
a
we do
preference
usually
either.
kick the game on. Thanksgiving Day games have traditionally included one game hosted by the Detroit Lions since 1934, and one game hosted by the Dallas Cowboys since 1966. Oh, and since they always play games on Thursday, there's a third primetime game that's been played on Thanksgiving. So one's just a regular weekly, and the other 2 are traditional since 1934 and 1966.
I think they usually put on the Cowboys because there are a lot of Cowboys fans here.
Yeah.
So none of our family is Cowboys fans, but in California there's a lot of Cowboys. So, and a lot of my family hates the Cowboys. So that's why we usually put the Cowboy game on, I think.
I always hear
so
what
we can
Atlanta's doing,
hope
and
they
I
lose.
don't really have that much of a preference. I'll even say that usually we will get a pickup game going with all the guys, and we'll do like a 2-hand touch
That's
game.
sexist.
I mean, girls can join too, but they tend not to. It's just 2-hand touch. Like, it's not like it's rough or anything. But yeah, we'll run
It
plays and
involves
stuff.
running. I don't want to do it.
Well, there you go. But that's
I'll be
usually
the
a pretty fun
quarterback.
thing to do. Sometimes we'll go and it's kind of cool because we'll have all the parking done too in the front yard. You like line it up. It looks like a parking lot. But everyone's showing off their
Oh, that's
cars
cool.
and stuff. And it's pretty fun. I'm trying to think of what else we do. Ultimate Frisbee usually gets played as well. And then,
We don't have much of a yard to do football here.
yeah, it's a little different in LA.
But we do, one year we did play like, 500 or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where you like have some on the other side and then one person's throwing the football and they're going like 200. Surprise box.
Oh, yeah, Jackpot.
Jackpot, yeah.
That's a good one.
We did that one year. Because we could play it kind of like, we're in somewhat of a subdivision, so we're kind of able to do that. But not like actual football. That's, even if you only do 2-hand touch, it's still potential for people to collide into each other. And then you're colliding and falling onto asphalt. And that just sounds like not.
That's what they used to do back in the day. Be barefoot playing in the street. You gotta move to the side when the cars come by. They go full tackle because they're not babies.
I feel like the family would rather eat dinner with all their teeth intact.
I'd rather eat turkey, don't eat pavement. No, yeah, I know what you mean. Grass is always better. That's why the pros play on grass.
Do we want to go into the article? Because
Yeah,
I think
let's
this
do
is
an
a really
article.
interesting article.
Let's do it. It's right on topic talking about the food.
Yeah. So, our article today is from Psychology Today.
All right.
I tend to
your
do
favorite?
Psychology Today because it's usually easier to find articles that are more kind of relevant. Because I've tried using like Vice.com and Google Scholar and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it tends to find the words I'm looking somewhere in the article, but not really necessarily on topic of the article. Just like, oh, hey, this word "thes" in this article.
Yeah, right.
But it's completely something different. So, for Psychology Today, the article's called Holiday is Brain Food by Hara Estroff-Maron?
Let me take a look. Hera
I
Estroff
don't know.
Morano.
Marano. I think I was close on my pronunciations of those names.
Yeah.
I mean, of those, those
Well, I mean,
names.
you used the letters, so I'll give you that. Mara
Yes.
Estroff Morano.
Accomplished.
And I'm probably messing it up, to be honest.
So this article I thought was pretty interesting because it talks about the importance, like, because we think about it and we gorge our food on Thanksgiving and we think, oh man, like all this unhealthy food, because you have those people that are like, my diet is ruined because of the holidays and blah, blah, blah. And it actually talks about the importance that Thanksgiving food is actually like good for you.
Yeah, it's a varied meal. You got a lot of different nutrients coming in.
Yeah, and it talks about like one of the biggest things is from Thanksgiving, we get a lot of antioxidants that we don't normally get.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, apparently, like, turkey stuffing has a lot of antioxidants in it.
Nice.
Cranberries has a lot of antioxidants, and it's, like, one of the top foods that you can get antioxidants from.
Yeah, and I was going to say something, but I'm not a scientist. I was going to say, I don't know. Are antioxidants like one thing that you get, or is it like you get some antioxidants from some stuff from this and then some from another? So you have like a big range of stuff that you need to I'm not sure how antioxidants work.
Antioxidants, a lot of times you get antioxidants from like fruit.
Yeah.
I don't think there's different types of antioxidants. I think they're all like generally the same. Antioxidants is important because like we have a lot of stuff that causes oxidants to be in our body, which are not good, and it can lead to, I believe, cancer.
Okay.
Oh, so we have a lot of free radicals is what it's called. And let's see, it says, there's a little section. Free radicals, which are oxygen unstable molecules, which is why you need antioxidants to fight those.
Oh, I see. So it's like particles that are going to steal stuff from your cell, and this is extra stuff that you give to them so they don't steal stuff from your cell. It says it's a substance that inhibits oxidation, especially one used to counteract the deterioration of stored food products, which is like you. You are a stored food product.
And so it says, in the article, free radicals are thought to be responsible for making cholesterol harmful for the arteries and for impairing memory and movement with age. So basically, you don't want free radicals in your body.
Yeah. You're going to keep your radicals contained and under control.
So basically, what can also happen is, like, when you're under stress, your body's ability to produce antioxidants is impaired. So, like, anything stressful, any type of toxidants you can take into your body from, say, Los Angeles with how bad the smog and stuff is, like, all that stuff affects your antioxidants, and it can also affect whether or not you get sick and stuff like that. So it's really important to have antioxidants.
It's like your ability to fight off time and, like, getting old. Smog is literally killing you.
Actually, no, it does say that high oxygen radical absorbance capacity. That's how they measure food with antioxidant. It says high, and then acronym is ORAC. High ORAC foods may help slow the aging process in the body and brain. So basically, exactly what you said, to prevent you from getting old.
Yeah.
And so, if you think about it, we don't tend to have cranberries other than like for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I do.
I mean, you might have like cranberry like juice or something like that.
Yeah, you get cranberries in your salad. You get cranberry I had a cranberry orange muffin the other day. That was really good. It was from Panera.
That's weird.
No,
I don't
it was
normally
awesome.
have cranberries.
Oh, you would think it'd be weird, but it was really good.
I think it sounds good, but I don't normally see cranberry orange muffins.
Neither
I usually
did
see like blueberries or whatever, which I think blueberries has antioxidants as well.
I tried it and then I was like, oh, let me get some more of that. I still think blueberry's king, but this is definitely worth a try when you're feeling spunky.
Also, another thing that has antioxidants is coffee.
Yeah, I'm drinking some right now. It's good for the
and
antioxidant.
people tend to have coffee when they're during Thanksgiving as well. Apparently, like in the evening, they might have coffee or hot cocoa. And it says that so I guess there are different types of antioxidants, because in this article it says research has identified a new antioxidant in coffee that is particularly potent in preventing colon cancer.
Nice. That's pretty good. Don't want cancer of any type, let alone colon.
Also, things that have antioxidants that we tend to have at Thanksgiving is hot cocoa, if you're using pure cocoa powder, red wine, and tea.
Nice. Yeah, I drink a lot of tea. I didn't mean to shut down your point earlier about cranberries. You are right. A lot of people don't have many cranberries. And so this is a time when you do get access to cranberries. And they're like little amazing little beans. They're not beans, but I mean like they're pretty good.
And it's also saying that pure cocoa powder has 2 times more than, for antioxidant power, it's 2 times more than red wine, 2 to 3 times more than green tea, and up to 5 times more than black tea. So if you're going to have hot cocoa on Thanksgiving, make sure you use pure cocoa powder.
Nice.
And you get your antioxidants.
Do it right.
And so that's it for that article.
Well, there's one more thing I just found on this article. It says there are many other antioxidants in cranberries, and they are just now coming under scrutiny for their function. Researchers increasingly believe the combinations of nutrients found in food are more protective than individual nutrients taken alone. Mm-hmm. That's kind of interesting. So I guess they play off like the what is it? The sum of the parts is greater than the whole. No, I think it's backwards. Something like that. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, they work better together. That's kind of interesting. And so eat your bounty harvest feast at Thanksgiving and get all your nutrients working together. You feel good through the holidays. You go through and you'll be ready for the long winter.
So, and if you're curious, like, definitely check out this article, because it does talk about the research that they've done with specifically cranberries. And they do it with animals and comparing animals who have a standard diet versus those that are eating cranberries and stuff like that.
It also says they help ward off UTIs, so that's helpful.
I think also this article doesn't talk about it, but I think it's also important to bring up, is that I feel like most people don't eat huge amounts of vegetables, like they should. But yet at Thanksgiving time, I feel like a lot more people eat vegetables that maybe they don't normally do.
Yeah, you get some of the casserole. You always got to grab a, and that's a don't you know. Get a little bit of everything. Don't like skip around, and don't grab like 10 pieces of ham and no casserole. Like, come on, you gotta try. You gotta try it all.
Yeah, because I mean, like you're having. I don't think potatoes is counted as vegetables.
No, they're starch.
They're carbs. Yeah. I think same with corn. But you have green bean casserole. You usually have a salad. You have what else?
I love corn. Some people like potatoes.
I like corn too.
But I'm not
I like corn and potatoes.
I like a little bit of potatoes, but I could go down, like, I could throw some corn down big time.
But anyways, I think people tend to eat more vegetables on Thanksgiving than they would normally do if they don't normally
like
have
asparagus and stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the asparagus. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I know we have other ones, but I couldn't remember.
Artichokes. I feel like artichokes would be good they're hard to eat though.
I think sometimes we make collard greens.
We usually make an artichoke dip, spinach artichoke dip.
Ooh.
And we'll have some stuff laying around, some queso.
Maybe some celery and ranch and stuff like that out for snacks. Yeah, we also have a vegetable platter for appetite, for snacking throughout the day.
Man, I am so ready for Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah, I know, I'm so hungry. And so you're eating more vegetables than you normally do, and so that's another thing that shows now you gotta remember, of course, that there's always such a thing as too much is a good thing.
Yeah, don't get sick.
I think that's where it comes to where if you're eating a lot of food, of course, that's weight wise is not very healthy, but the food options that are presented are actually not that bad for you.
Yeah. And there's also, it's up to the chefs how you want to cook it, too. If you're doing a casserole and you want to put a bunch of sugar in there or stuff like that, you don't have to. Let the food speak for itself, Or, some people I know will fry the turkey, and I think that's usually frying stuff is higher carb than, baking or roasting, I guess. But, if you're thinking...
Because you're frying
grease.
It's
still going to taste really good. You can do it a different way, but some people are like, no, I'm going to do it. But it's all your individual pieces. And, portion control. Don't get, a big old thing of this or whatever. Get a small taste. Get it. I don't know. People are like, screw you. I'm getting kill myself. But going back also to trying everything, it's really mean to old Aunt Ethel when nobody eats her green bean casserole because everybody doesn't want vegetables. Gotta get your vegetables.
Okay. I think we talked a little bit about this, especially with me, but so I feel like a don't you know is that you should, if you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving, you should always bring food.
Yeah.
Bring a dish.
That's pretty good.
What are you bringing?
You're putting me on the
what's your
spot
go-to?
here.
If you're having a potluck or even going to someone's house for Thanksgiving or whatever, what are you bringing?
So this is tough because you kind of have to coordinate because you don't really want to bring an entree that competes with the main entree, I got this barbecue crock pot thing I can do, but my crock pot's a little small for the number of people we have, so I really have to get a fringe thing that isn't going to be okay, everybody gets a spoonful and then it's not enough to go around, So I have to balance that line or get another crock pot or just make it twice and store one or something.
So, I mean, I'm also talking about maybe an office Thanksgiving potluck. What is your go-to you're bringing?
That barbecue thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
No, I got a few other things. I've got a little chicken dish that I can cook sometimes. It's a cream of corn or cream chicken with chicken breast.
The one that I make that you taught me?
Yeah, that's the one. Sometimes I'll make that.
My family loves
and
that,
that's a good one because it's more like a sauce that you pour on rice, and so the rice is filling, and you just get a little sauce. So that's a good one for big parties and stuff. But honestly, I don't cook that much, and I really should probably contribute. But we'll see how that goes.
Usually, my go-to for at least for Thanksgiving potluck. Sometimes I'll do it for other potlucks, but mostly do it for Thanksgiving is my monkey bread. That's usually a go-to for
good.
My mom as well. We bring monkey bread. That's kind of I'm probably gonna, once I have kids, that's gonna be what I teach them, and that's probably what they'll bring.
And that's another funny thing is that, the dish that I'm talking about is something my mom taught me. So I'm just cooking something my mom taught me. I'm just, making it for her, I guess. And she'll probably be like, oh, I make this better.
Okay, I have one thing left.
I have one. One thing we do is I made a joke about Secret Santa. We do plan Secret Santa on Thanksgiving because we usually do Christmas together as well. And so it's all right, we'll draw the names from the hat here and then swap around. Do you do anything like that?
No, we don't even really talk about Christmas, really, honestly. I think Secret Santa is actually a great idea to do with family because then you're not having to try to buy presents for everyone or people getting left out. Because there's times where not everyone comes over to Auntie Pat's for for Christmas. And so you never know who's going to come, who's not. And so there's been times where we've had someone come that we didn't know was going to come, and then it's like, this person's not going to get any Christmas presents because, like, we didn't expect her to come.
We just do it for the me and the 3 siblings, though, and we'll go around. And then we usually each get something. We'll get like a small something for everybody in the immediate family. But the Secret Santa will go we might do whatever budget we have for each person, but this will be like a budget and a half or something. It's like a special gift, and that's always kind of fun. And it's always weird. It's kind of funny. I think I get like the same people every year. Well, it's only 3, but you tend to get the same person every year, and you're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm playing favorites.
I got a lot of my Christmas shopping done already. I just gotta get a couple small things now.
I haven't done anything. I never do anything, and I just go on Amazon at the end and just get it all.
Well, see, my thing is so I like to, especially when I have extra money, I tend to like to spend it on others and like buy things for them. And so usually when it comes down to like September, if I'm buying something for someone, a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hold on to this and give that to them at Christmas.
Nice. No, that's good thinking.
So, okay. My last thing. Mine's a discussion, and we can close out with this if you want. Unless you have some other things to talk about.
No, I think I'm just about good. I've done my talking.
Okay, this last thing's food too, because, Thanksgiving and food go hand in hand.
Nice.
And I'm like so hungry, and I'm kind of like, I don't even want to talk about this. I'm so hungry.
Let's do it.
Okay, so obviously Thanksgiving always have leftovers. So, do you do anything special with your leftovers? Like, I was watching a cooking show for Thanksgiving, and they had, like, an episode where they took, like, leftovers and created something different.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you do anything, or do you just do, like, the typical turkey sandwich?
That's literally what we do, turkey sandwich. Yeah, no, turkey sandwich, then just, like, eating all the stuff just as snacks. It usually gets eaten up, but we have a lot of turkey left over, usually. Because we'll have, like, 3 or 4 turkeys.
So you don't do anything where you, like, create a new dish?
No, we'll kind of just reheat the same turkey dinner. But I know kind of what you're talking about. But we do end up getting kind of tired of turkey. We'll do, like, something else the second night. And then just snack on the turkey as we go. And take it to go because a lot of people have long drives. And turkey's real good. You can eat it hot or cold. So you just grab it and eat it on the road.
So what my aunt does is... So everyone takes, like, their plate or 2 plates or whatever to go. Don't you bring containers to Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, that's good thinking.
Jacob's like, oh, now I know what I'm bringing. My aunt, what she does, though, is whatever's left, and she usually gets, like, stuff to kind of make, like, because usually there's not as much potatoes or whatever left, so she might get, like, instant potatoes to make with it. But usually she takes what's left, and she makes 2 casseroles. Like, throws everything into a casserole. So, like, all the, like, mashed potatoes, the green beans, the turkey... I don't know if she puts, like, the sweet potatoes or whatever. But she basically throws it all into a casserole. And she makes 2. One goes to my grandpa, because my grandpa absolutely loves turkey. It's, like, his favorite thing.
Yeah.
And then one for our house. And so, sometimes there's, of course, not enough mashed potatoes. So she'll make, like, a thing of instant mashed potatoes. So she gets a couple of little things that she knows tends to be lower when she makes her casserole.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll cook that. But for the most part, it's just leftovers. All into a casserole.
Nice. I realized we said that was the last one, but this reminds me of an episode of Friends that I watched recently. You were talking about potatoes during Thanksgiving. And there's this episode where Monica's making the Thanksgiving for all the friends. And they're all like on the side like, oh, you're doing mashed potatoes? Are they chunky? She's like, no, so-and-so wanted them creamy. She's like, I like mine chunky. She's like, okay, I'll make them 2. She's like, can you make them 2 different ways? She's like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. So she makes it 2 different ways. And then somebody at Chandler's or Joey's like, oh, I like them as hash browns. And then like Ross is like, oh, I like them as like tater tots or something. So she's eating 4 different types of potatoes. I had never heard of that. Maybe because of my family, it's just like, no, we're doing mashed potatoes. We're doing them chunky. It's just how it is. Deal with it. And that's just kind of, oh well, they're just potatoes. Is that like a big deal in your family, or how do you eat your potatoes? I guess that's what I'm asking. And is that a big deal?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by creamy, so I'm just gonna say how exactly we make the mashed potatoes. We do it like, we get like actual whole potatoes and we boil them and then we mash them with the masher.
But do they have like a chunky consistency? Like, can you feel the grain, or are they like real fine?
I guess they're kind of in the middle, because like they're not really that chunky, but at the same time they're not like super creamy smooth.
Okay.
I guess you just kind of go, okay, my arms are tired, so that's the level of consistency they'll be.
Yeah, that's the thing how we do it too. Do you like the skins? I like the skins.
We don't take like that little like blender thing like
yeah, puree.
No chunks allowed.
No chunks.
Just smash it till you're done smashing.
Well, it was a crazy episode, and I was like, she ends up, spoiler alert for a 1990s sitcom episode. They get locked out of the apartment and she burns them all, and she's just like, oh, this worked for nothing.
I was thinking about it earlier, too, when we were talking about potatoes. When I was saying about potatoes being a starch. I was thinking baked potatoes. I wonder if anyone does baked potatoes for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It is
I
a
feel like
little
that's a
less
legit
common,
thing.
but I could see it being done.
I feel like that one's harder to do because, like, when you do mashed potatoes, like, all the potatoes go into one and people just kind of scoop it. Whereas baked potatoes, you kind of have to, like, count out and make sure there's enough potatoes for everyone.
Yeah.
And then you have to, like, you get stuck with the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't just, like, oh, I'm only gonna have a little bit of mashed potatoes. Like, with a baked potato, like, you take the whole potato, man. Like,
Oh, yeah, you can't. There's no half.
Maybe cut it in half.
Or something.
but still, even then, like, some people don't want that much potato.
Right. I know, that's a lot.
And I don't like
Potatoes like a
skin,
meal, and
so-
I'm not... I don't really like baked potatoes for that reason exactly. They're huge, and there's so much, and they're loaded, and it's very calorie dense as well. Like, I'd rather eat, like, steak or something.
For Lent, that was what I was eating, like, the whole time, because it was, like,
Baked
the only
potatoes?
thing I could eat.
Oh,
I was like, I'm having whole meals off of just baked potatoes, man.
yeah.
Just one baked potato.
I've heard you can just microwave one and just, like, go for it.
Oh, yeah, you can. You pop it in there. I don't remember. It's been so long since I microwaved one, but what you do is you, like, poke it, and that's how I was eating mine.
I feel like I would actually
microwaving
bake
it.
mine, though. I really like using my oven. I use my oven all the time.
Well, this was also during, like, the summer, and we don't have really AC here, so when you put the stuff in the
yeah.
oven, it's, like, makes the whole house hot.
That's true.
So you just pop it in the microwave. It's easier. And plus, I'm only making, like, one potato, and it
Yeah.
just seems like a huge effort to turn up the oven and, like, wait for it to preheat and then stick it in there just for one potato.
Yeah.
Just pop in the microwave.
I got another don't you know I was thinking about earlier. Don't you know board games are really fun to play at these events. Or some sort of card game or something. Usually those will get going.
Don't you know, don't let it be Uno or Monopoly, or else your Thanksgiving next year will be a lot smaller.
No, I was thinking like that game where we usually play this one game. Here's a game for you. So you get a bunch of paper and a bunch of pencils, and everyone sits in a circle, and each person gets a pencil and a paper. And what you do is you write a sentence like, the dolphin went to the store, or something like that. That doesn't make much sense. Something kind of silly like that. And then you pass it to the left, and you grab the persons, and so now I might have a thing. I read the sentence, it's like, the man walked his dog. Okay, now I draw that real small underneath it, the man walking his dog. And then you fold it so you can't see what the sentence was, and you pass it to the left again. So now you get a picture, and it's like, okay, what is this? What am I looking at? Because nobody can draw that well. Some people can draw well, but the whole game is like, okay, it's like the telephone game where you pass the passcode. You look at it, and then so you got to draw, and you get the idea. And by the time you get around the circle, if there's like a bunch of people, you get something, and you look at it, and you're like, okay, I got this. The last one is like, it's like an elephant school. You're like, what? And then it's like the teacher was. I had a substitute teacher or something, and you're like, what is this? Or something like that. And you can kind of see how it progresses or something like that. It's pretty fun. It's a good way to kill like 30 minutes or an hour if you play it a few times.
Well, that's cool. I had a good don't you know that I was thinking about. Don't you know, when you're driving home, be careful because a lot of people are drinking and driving.
Yeah, definitely be safe. And don't drink and drive, for real. Get an Uber. All these people, somebody can DD you.
I think that's a good ending is be safe.
Be safe.
Don't drink and drive, and be careful when you're driving because there are people who don't follow that rule, even though it's a law.
And as always, thanks for listening.
Yeah. So please subscribe. Please follow. You can send us a tweet at don'tyouknowpod, or send us an email at don'tyouknowpod@gmail.com. And so until next time, guys. See ya.
See ya. You may now put up your Christmas decorations.